Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to explain to you how to set up and create your own PHP contact form. Now this is going to be really basic, but at least it will be something that you can use on your own website, and I'm not going to make it too hard for you. So let's just get started. As you can see, I have a new folder called PHP Mailer, and in there I have two files. We have index.php and we have send.php. Now index.php is going to be the main page where people fill out the form, and send.php is going to be the file which, when the form gets sent to it, then it will process the form data and send it to your recipient. So I'll go into the index.php file, and as you can see we have a basic HTML document set up, and we're going to create a form. So form method equals post. So we put method equals post because it's going to post the data to send.php file, and we'll do action equals send.php. So that's where it's sending it to. So it's basically posting it to send.php. Now we'll close the form, and now we're going to do a form which asks for name, phone, email, and message. So input type equals text, name equals first name, or actually we'll just call it name. So that's a bit confusing, but basically name is a way for the PHP to identify what this field is, and then the name of that field is name. Okay, and then we'll do input type equals tell, name equals phone. So tell, these are HTML5 fields, so it will the reason why I use that is, maybe on a phone, if someone's using this contact form and they click on the tell field, it'll actually come up with a big number pad instead of the keyboard, and they have to change the numbers all the time to change it. So it just makes it easier. Then we'll do input type equals email, name equals email, and we'll also put a text area, and we'll call that message, and we'll close that as well. Now we'll give these placeholders as well. So placeholder equals your name, and phone, and your email address, and then we'll just do your message. And then we just have to do one more thing, which is a submit button, which you can do in two ways. But I will do, so you can do like button, like that, or you can do input type equals submit, value equals send email, for example. But what I'll do, I'll just use the button and we'll change it to send email. So if we save that and then we go to our page, you'll notice that we have a form there. Now it's really, really basic. So we can spruce it up a bit using Bootstrap, which I'll show you quickly how to do. If we go to, actually, you know what? I said at the start of this tutorial it's going to be really simple, so I'll keep it really simple. Let's just break this up a bit so that each field is on its own line and it's easy to read. And let's do one more line actually. Okay, there we go. Looks really, really ugly, but it's the functionality that counts right now. So right now, if I type in my name and a phone number, and if I don't type, the reason why we've used input type equals email is that your browser will automatically check if it's an email or not. And with the latest browsers, it might not even let you submit the form. So as you can see here with Chrome, it's checked and it's not an email and it doesn't let you through. So I'll type in a proper email address and I'll type in a message. If we hit send, you'll notice that it's actually sent us to send.php. Now it may look like it's done nothing, but behind the scenes, it's actually posted what we've typed in that form into variables, and then we can use those variables on this page. So to test it out, what we need to do is we go into send, and we can create which starts off the PHP code, and we should do name equals question mark underscore post name. So basically we're going to create a new variable called name, and it's going to check the data that's been posted to that page with the variable as name as well. And you know that it's called name because you can see here it's called name. And then we'll also do telephone. So we'll just do phone equals post phone. And then we'll do email equals post email, and message equals post message. Okay, if we hit send email again, still nothing comes up. What we need to do is we actually need to echo it out. So let's echo the name, let's echo the phone, let's echo the email, and echo message. If we go back to that form again and fill it out, you'll notice that the information that I typed now comes up on send.php, which is awesome. So now that I'm going to remove these echoes, so we don't need that. What we're going to do now is we're going to tell send.php to actually send this email data to somebody. And to do that, there are two ways to do it. You can code PHP from scratch, very time consuming. I'm sure you got more things to do in your day than that. Or you could use a pre-made PHP class, which is really, really simple to use, and it's called PHP Mailer. Now I'll go onto the GitHub website, or I'll just Google PHP Mailer, and it'll take you to a GitHub page which explains to you how PHP Mailer works. It gives you all the instructions of how to use it. It also shows us how to install it. Now, in order to install PHP Mailer, you need to use it. You can just download it and install it into your folder structure, but I would suggest using a program called Composer. So if you look up Composer on Google, install it on your computer, you'll then be able to install PHP Mailer very, very simply. And Composer is just basically a system which allows you to download PHP classes and store them in one folder very, very neatly. And all you have to do is include one PHP file in your actual project, and then you have access to all those classes. So let's do that now. What we want to do is we want to go to our project folder, and we want to run command prompt in there. Now you can either go, I'm on Windows 10, so you can go to command prompt and you can go to that actual folder. So if we go to XAMPP, CD XAMPP, CD htdocs, CD tutorials, CD PHP Mailer. Now we're actually in the folder where our page is stored, and we can do Composer, require, PHP Mailer /PHP Mailer. And Composer is basically going to connect and download the PHP Mailer script and set it up for us to use in our project. Now, it's saying that Composer is now PHP Mailer is now installed. It's run everything it needs to, and I can close command prompt now. And you'll notice now in our folder we have quite a few more files. We have a vendor folder, and vendor folder basically includes our PHP Mailer class, and it also includes autoload.php, which is what we're going to include in our project to use the PHP Mailer. Okay, so what we want to do now is go into our script. Actually, we'll go onto GitHub and we'll actually grab the simple example that they've provided us with, copy it, paste it into the project, but take away that PHP at the top. As you can see, we have the variables from the form that's being submitted, and then we have the instructions to load PHP Mailer. And then this is the information that we need to fill out in order to send an email through PHP Mailer. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to use an SMTP service. So SMTP is basically like a mail server to send it for us. If you don't want to do that, just delete all of this and you can use the PHP send mail, which may be installed on your web hosting that you have. but I'm going to use SMTP and I'm going to use SendGrid. So it's smtp.sendgrid.net. And my username is Mr. Digital AU. And we'll put the password in there for my SMTP, and my settings are TLS as opposed to SSL, so that's fine, and my port is 587, so that's cool as well. Now what we want to do is we want to set a from email address, and then we want to set a recipient. So let's just remove, there's a double up of this, so let's just remove this one, and we'll remove reply to, and we'll remove the CC and BCC, and we'll remove the attachments as well. So now we have the ability to put in a recipient and a sender. So what we do is we can set the sender, set it to your email address, I guess. This is the email that the form is going to come from. So I'm just going to put it as sean@mrdigital.com.au, and the name will be from Mr. Digital. And then the recipient will actually have to be the email address of the person that submitted the form. So all we have to do is take out that and put email. And then you can also put the person's name, which is located there. So let's take that out, take out the inverted commas as well, and just put name. So basically it's going to send to that person's email and that person's name. Okay. Now the subject, let's just say we want, it's an inquiry form through your website. So let's make the subject website inquiry from, and then we'll put a dot, and then we'll put the person's name. Okay, so it's basically going to do website inquiry from whoever the person's name is that submitted the form. Okay, now this section here, body and alt body, is basically, body is for an HTML email, and alt body is basically for a plain text email. Now what we can do is we can create one body, and then we can dumb it down for plain text as well, so you don't have to put two different types of text in both of these areas. So let's just create the body content of the website, just to make it easy, body content, and let's just create a variable called body equals, and let's just put some HTML in there. So strong hello, you have received an inquiry from, and then dot name, and then what we can do is put another dot and open up the commas again to add extra content in there. So hello, you have received an inquiry from name. The message is dot message, and then dot again, and then open up some more commas, inverted commas. You can contact on dot phone. So basically we're creating a variable, and it's going to basically fill it out. So if we were going to look at this form, it would be, hello, you've received an inquiry from Sean. The message is 321232321, and you can contact Sean on, my apologies, that's the phone number. So the message would be test. So sorry to confuse things, but basically, hopefully you understand where I'm going with this. Okay, and because this is HTML, and it's got some HTML in there, and we're going to put, paragraph here. That's not going to show in plain text. So how we do it, firstly, is we will, instead of this being the body of the email, we're going to make the variable body, which is this thing, be the body of the email. And also the alternative body is going to just be strip tags body. So basically this PHP function is going to strip all the HTML tags out of this variable and just display the text in it. And that's pretty much all you have to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill out the form and I'm going to send it and see if that emails to me. So if we go back to the website and we go to the form, Sean 04 blah blah blah, my email address is info@mrdigital.com.au. Hello, this is a test. So if we hit send, you'll notice nothing has happened. And I can see what the problem is. I'm using the wrong password. So I'll just paste that in there again. And we'll go back to our form and we'll do another try. We'll do type in the phone number, type in an email address, and then type in anything. Hit send mail. As you can see, it's doing something now. So now we've sent the email and you can see message has been sent. Now that message that comes up here is something that you can alter there, and that will only display if the message is sent. If it isn't sent, you'll notice it would say message could not be sent. So if I go to my emails now, you will notice that it has come through. So hello, you've received an inquiry from Sean. The message is blah, 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 and you can contact on blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Now, you probably don't want the person to just come to a page saying message has been sent. You might want to just divert them back to the form page. And you can do it this way. Instead of for it to echo that the message has been sent, what you can do is you can go header, location, index.php, because that's the page that the form's on, and then do a question mark and type in sent. The reason why you do that is so you know that it's been diverted because it has been sent. So let's delete that echo now and let's go back to index.php and try this again. So send email, and it's doing something, and as you can see, it's come back to the same page. The content is not there anymore, but you can see sent there. And what you might want to do is actually show a message on the top of the form saying thank you for your email. Or you could even do this. You could create a new page called thankyou.php. Create a new PHP file here and call it thank you, and add all the HTML in there and thank you as the title, and just maybe put a title, thank you for your email. We will be in touch soon. Okay, go back here, type in whatever you want, send the email. If it gets sent, it will go to thankyou.php, and that's it. Now, the one thing I haven't spoken about yet is that this is really unsecure. So someone is basically typing in anything they want into this form. It's getting processed by a server. Now, you're not using a database, so you're not storing anything in there, but it's still good to just make sure that this information that's being typed in the form isn't malicious at all. So the best thing to do would just be to sanitize the data. And to do that, basically, you'll just go in here and you'll type in filter var put the post variable in there, and then filter sanitize string. And that's just going to make sure that there's nothing, no malicious HTML code or anything in there that's getting submitted. And you can probably do the same with your phone and with the email. And obviously with the message as well. Now once we do that, we go back to the form, type in the information, hit send email. Everything's going to go as normal, so you won't notice any difference. Now, one last thing before I go. I've tried to make this really simple, but it's turned out not to be. Most online forms now they stop people from spamming. So you don't really want people to be able to just like robots to go on your computer and just keep on submitting your form. The easiest way to do it without having one of those captcha codes or anything is to do a simple thing called a honeypot. Now, basically how a honeypot works is that you have a hidden input, a hidden field on your form, and if that field is filled out, then the form won't submit. And typically robots that automatically send forms on your website, they don't see they can't see, they just look at code, and they can see the hidden field, and then they end up filling it out and it just doesn't go anywhere. So the simplest way to do it would be to create a new input here. So input type equals hidden, and we'll call it name equals phone2. Okay. Now once we save that, we'll go back to your send.php and we'll do phone2 equals post phone2, and that's basically creating a new variable called phone2, and it's attributing to that the phone2 data that gets sent through the form. And then what we're going to do is we are just going to do so what we want is we want phone2 to actually be empty. So what we can do is just coming to think about it, we don't even need to do that variable like that. What we can do is if is not set, so if is set but with a question mark, basically saying if it's not set. So if it hasn't been filled out, then run the code. If not, then it's not going to run, but we're not going to tell them that it hasn't run because we want the robots thinking they're submitting the form, but really they're not. And then we can just basically put that around everything here. And let's try it again. So we've got the form, we'll fill it out. Oops, that's my bad. I did something wrong there. I'm just going to check what I've done. A very, very amateurish mistake there. I'm sorry about that. So I've had to put the use commands and the require at the top out of the if statement, and I'll save that and we'll try it again now. As you can see, things are happening, and it is going to send because that form has that phone2 field hasn't been filled out. However, if I go back to index.php and I make this an actual field, and we can actually see it, and if I fill it out, so that's the phone field, and I hit it, it just does nothing. So that stops spammers from hitting your site and constantly filling out your form. So that wraps it up. I've run you through how to set up a basic PHP contact form. Obviously, it can look much better. Look into using Bootstrap or styling it properly with a spreadsheet, a style sheet, and also using PHP Mailer, PHP class to send it. So it's actually really, really simple to do a contact form in PHP. And I hope it really helps you learn, and hopefully you can use it in the real world. And thank you very much, and have a nice day or evening wherever you are in the world.